Hello everyone, are we ready to do some signing today? You are? Perfect. Well, we are going to be learning all about numbers today. That's probably something you know, right? Maybe from school, maybe you have some counting books. Well, we are going to be counting together using sign language. So the first thing we are going to be learning today is the word for numbers. This one is pretty easy. All it takes is both of our hands, so we'll get our hands ready. And then we are going to take both of our hands and almost make them into claws. So we're gonna close our claws, and you see how there's a little oval right here? We want it to be just like this. So what we're going to do the sign for numbers, now that we have our hands ready, is just, we're going to go back and forth. Do you see how I'm turning my hands like this? So they're going in opposite directions. So we tap the top of our fingers together, back and forth, and this is the sign for numbers. Do you want to try it with me? All right, so let's get our hands ready together. We're gonna make our claws, close them on up. Then we're going to move our hands back and forth and tap our fingers together. Now we have some numbers. Let's do it one more time together to make sure we got it right. And then we're going to move on and learn how to count to 10 in sign language. So let's get our hands ready, our claws ready, and go back and forth. You are amazing at signing numbers. You sure you haven't done this before? All right, now it's time for us to learn how to count to 10. So, what number do you think we're going to start with first? That's right, the number 1. So what we have to do for the numbers 1 through 5 is have our palm, so this side of our hand, face us. Now I'm gonna have this side of my hand face you. Sound good? So what we have to do for number 1 is our first pointer finger right here. And this is just the sign for number 1. Pretty easy, right? Now I think you can do this too. Now make sure your palm is facing you. You put down these fingers, they're gonna take a little bit of a nap. Say goodnight to Mr. Thumb, and we have the number 1. Do you think you can do it with me too? I knew you could. Let's go ahead, we'll get our hand out, move these fingers down. Now we have the number 1. Very good. Now I bet you know what's going to come next, right? That's right, the number 2. Okay, so just like we have the 1, now we're going to add one more, which is its friend right next to it. Now we have 2. Now, do you want to try it with me? Perfect. So we'll bring our hand up, we can make the 1, and then we're adding a 2 right here, making sure our palm is still facing us. You are pretty good at this and pretty good at counting. Now this one can be a little bit different than what we're used to, and that's the number 3. You're probably used to holding up your fingers just like this when you want to say 3. Now in sign language, we can't do that. And the reason for that is because this is already a sign. It's the sign for the letter W. Do you see how my fingers make the letter W like this? So I can't say W and 3 at the same time. So the ASL sign for 3 is using your thumb instead. So we have our middle, pointer, and then our thumb. And this is 3. Do you want to try this one with me? It might be a little new to you. So make sure your palm is facing you. Then we have these 2 fingers go down, and we have our middle, pointer, and thumb. And this is the number 3. I think this might be one of my favorite signs because it's a little different. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to 4. Now this is probably one you're used to doing. We lift our hand up, this thumb goes to sleep, and now we have our 4 fingers right here. This is the sign for 4. Can you do that with me? I knew you got the hang of this. We'll have the thumb go down just like this, and then flip it like that, and we have 4. That is the sign for the number 4. Now, I bet you can't guess what 5 looks like. That's right, it's just our hand up like this, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 fingers on our hand. So it's a pretty easy sign for us to do. But we got to make sure that our hand isn't like this, that it's looked like this still. So all you have to do, if you want to do it with me, the number 5, just like this. Now we're going to be moving on to 6 through 10. Now we had our hands facing this way, my palm to me and the back of my hand to you. Now what do you think we're going to do this time? That's right, we're going to flip it. So my palm is going to be facing you, and then the back of my hand will face me, because we need to cross our fingers together for the rest of the signs. So for this sign, for the number 6, we take our pinky and our thumb, and they meet together. And this is the sign for 6. So what we'll do again is take the pinky and the thumb, bring them together, and hold it just like this. So we have our 3 other fingers sticking right up there. Do you want to try it with me? Okay, here we go. My palm is to you, and the back of my hand is to me. And then we take our pinky here and our thumb, and we put them together. And now we have 6. Now you might be thinking, that looks a little strange. Why would we do it that way? Well, let's think about maybe what the number 7 is going to look like. So for the number 7, we bring our hand back up, facing the same way. And we had 6 like this. And just like when we count with our fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to do the same thing with sign language. So we're going to take our thumb and now go to the second finger here. So this was 6, now we have 7. So this is the sign for 7. We have our pinky up, and now our ring finger down, and our other 2 up, and our thumb down. Now we have 7. Do you want to try it with me? Okay, so you had the hang of number 6, so you have to have the hang of number 7. So palm facing outwards, and then together like this. Very good. Now if we have 6 and 7, we need 8. And what finger do you think is going to touch the thumb? That's right, we're going to go to the middle now. So we have 6, 7, and now it's time for 8. So we have the sign for 8. Do you want to try it with me? All right, here we go. 8. Very good. Now we have 6, 7, 8. What do you think is going to come next? That's right, 9. Now we have one last finger that's going to be touching our thumb. So we're going to take our pointer and our thumb and put it together just like this. And now we have the number 9. Now, do you think you can do that with me? All right, here we go. Just put them together. It's kind of like doing a little pinch. Now, we see that we have 6, 7, 8, 9. Kind of run out of fingers, haven't I? That's when we just have the thumb for the number 10. Since I ran out of these other ones, this is going to be the number 10. All we have to do is stick up our thumb like this, like you're giving a thumbs up, and then shake it. This is the number 10. Do you think you can do that for me? You can? Well, I bet you give a thumbs up a lot, right? So we can go ahead and thumbs up and shake it. And this is the number 10. Very good. Now I cannot wait to see you again and see all the counting you have done. So make sure that you practice, and I'll see you next time.